Howdy y'all, this is Austin Gridley Pickleball. Hey, I want to talk to you about making money in pickleball and possibly making a career in pickleball. And so I want to talk about kind of the most entry level for instructing. So this is for Houston, Texas. I'm not going to name names of different facilities and whatnot. I'm just going to talk about some of the compensation for teaching at some facilities. So at a facility is when you're coaching, most of the time you're commission based. Depending on how much the lesson makes, you're going to get a commission based off of that. And so for one of the facilities, this is more on the high end. A lesson costs about $80, and the instructor gets 75% of that. This is also an indoor facility. All of these are indoor, so you also got to factor in that these facilities have a little bit more overhead. They got to pay a little bit more. So anyways, not a bad thing. So for $80, if the instructor got 75% of that, they would get $60. $60 for an hour of teaching. It's not bad at all. Pretty dang good. If you're doing enough of that, I mean that's a pretty good living, right? Okay, the next one, this was at two separate facilities. They both had similar on this. So in general, they would make about $60 for a lesson, as in like the facility would charge $60 for a lesson. The instructor would get 65% of that, which doing the math is $39. Not bad at all. $39, still better than a lot of still better than a lot of work. So $39, that's okay. And then at another facility, the general instructors, like regular instructors, they're getting on average, the lessons are $88, and the instructors are getting 40% of that. So that would be $35 for an hour lesson. Yeah, so anyhow, depending on how many hours you're getting, it may be worth being off a couple of dollars because you're still making more money. If I was doing the 40-61, but I got 2 or 3 more hours a week and I was happy with it, I would be still making more money than the person making 65% of $60. So anyhow, and normally so I'm actually hiring for some of these positions right now, trying to hire some instructors. Usually I'm looking for definitely at least 4.0 plus duper rated. If you don't have a duper rating, that's not good. We're looking for instructors who are certified. Not the end of the world if you're not, but you better know your stuff. And then we're looking for some experience. I've had some people in the past apply and they didn't have experience. And I told them, go, even if you're just coaching people for free, go get some experience. Go learn how to teach people. Very important, very good. And yeah, once you start getting your foot in the door, you're going to get more opportunities and things can go better. When I first started, I would teach my own clinics, and I had my own program where for 8 weeks I would have 8 people in a class. Each student would pay $25 for a 2-hour session, and it would be for 8 weeks. So you'd pay $200, and I'd have 8 students pay that. And at the time, it was on outdoor courts, so we'd have to reschedule if rain or whatnot, but it was decent money and I would probably charge a little bit more now, but it was decent money for a decent commitment. I found that a lot of times the hardest part was getting people to commit for a long enough time. A lot of times people try one lesson and they think they know it all after that. There's so much to learn, so much to do, so just getting one commitment done was really, really nice. So that's kind of how I got started. I taught a lot, and then when I first started teaching, I was teaching, I think for like 15 or 18 bucks for an hour, hour and a half. And I was just trying to teach pickleball instead of having to go do a manual labor job. And I love pickleball, and then I kept getting better and better at pickleball. Prices kept rising for just my own private lessons. But anyhow, that's and then I've made so much more money teaching pickleball and whatnot than actually going on pro tours and whatnot. I've lost a lot of money on pro tours. It costs a lot of money to go play those. Just the entry fees, the travel, the lodging. I've lost a lot of money, and so if someone's asking me, Austin, why are you semi-retired? I am training right now and preparing to go play again, but I would lose a lot of money going out and playing, and so I want to make sure I'm really prepared, and hopefully I can prepare so I don't lose money going out there. Right. So anyhow, so and Utah wasn't getting enough. There weren't as many teaching positions, etc. And so I found a position at a country club in Alabama. And what I was offered for the position, I was in charge of the full pickleball program. It was just me doing it. I reported to the tennis instructor, the tennis head pro, and I had a $25,000 base salary, and then a $15,000 guaranteed draw. So if I didn't get enough lessons, etc., I would at least be making $40,000 a year. And then I got 70% of whatever the program made, and the country club got 30%. And it was pretty good. I liked it. I got a better opportunity in Houston, Texas after, but my main complaint was with working at a country club was that they were getting mad at me for bringing in non-members who loved pickleball. They wanted me to mostly focus on their members, but a lot of them didn't play pickleball yet. And it really bumped me out when I would have free pickleball instruction and free pickleball things, and the members and they wouldn't come out and they wouldn't come, and it's like I can't force people to play pickleball. And so I really like at indoor pickleball facilities. First off, if it rains or anything, you for sure are teaching. It's so nice. And then the other one is people want to come play pickleball there. I don't have to go hunt you down. It's so much easier to get students, and so I really like that part as well. So yeah, that was what I was doing, and then I won't talk right now about my last Houston job, and I won't even talk about what I'm doing currently. I'll just leave that alone for right now, but I'll talk about a very similar position, and this right here is where I think a lot of money lies in pickleball for potential head pros. I think there's a couple hundred positions like this around the United States, and it's a decent living. So, anyways, for this head pro, I'll put up the picture. So for this one, it's $50,000 base salary, and this was a job that I applied for out of Dallas, Texas. They're gonna have a couple pickleball facilities there. Their main focus was like a professional chef and high-end pickleball. Very cool, and yeah, and then so going on, so they 60% commission on lessons and clinics, and they had $500 a year in Yola credit. Cool, some free paddles, 3 Yola paddles. So, anyways, some a Yola sponsorship with it, 10% on tournaments and leagues, and then there was a percentage of if the courts were used at not peak hours, the head pro would get a percentage of that. And they had quite a few applicants from Dallas, Texas in the area, but I applied, and I don't know what it is, y'all. When I apply for things nowadays, they love my resume. They love how I talk and present myself. So I nail these interviews. I'm like 100% on the interviews recently. So anyhow, they did offer me the job, but it would have been really hard to move out over to Dallas from Houston and other ideas, and I don't think I couldn't have relocated as fast as they wanted me to. I would have had to be there 4 days a week and then come home for 3 days a week, kind of a thing. They weren't happy with that, and so I didn't do that. But luckily, I got a similar job in Houston, Texas, where I'm at. So that was awesome. I'm a head pro at a new pickleball facility that's opening up. It's opening up near the Galleria, and yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. So $50,000 base salary. You have about 25 hours of work from that, and that's not too bad. As well as for the leagues and tournaments, what you're doing in those 25 hours, you're getting more than that. If you do 6 tournaments a year and the tournament makes $10,000, you would get $1,000 of that. So in theory, you're now at 56,000 from that base salary, really. And then if the leagues, let's say you're getting $250 a month from that, that's what. Let's do some basic math. I'm not a math teacher. So 250 times 12 is $3,000. So you're at $58,000 for 25 hours a week of work. That's pretty good. And then if you're teaching, let's say 20 hours a week, and at least in Dallas, Texas, they're going to be charging a lot. They're going to be charging probably $120 for this head pro coaching. But let's say it's 20 hours a week of $100. So that's $60 times 20, $1,200. 1,200 times 52. I'm going to pull up a calculator. 52 times 1,200. That's 62,400 plus our 58,000. That's $120,000. You're in. I mean, for me, that's really good money. I know there's other jobs and whatnot that make that kind of money, but anyways, there are, I think, hundreds of these pickleball jobs, head pro positions, where you could be making $120,000 a year. Let's look at real fast recapping. So for like a regular pro position, if let's say you're doing $39, that seemed to be kind of the average. If you were doing $39 times 40, you would be making just over $1,500 a week, 1,560. If you do that for 52 weeks, you're making 81 grand a year. I mean, that's livable. That's better than what a lot of people get. And so it's definitely possible to make a living teaching pickleball and doing pickleball. So if you want to do it, you definitely can. Um, yeah, you can make a living in pickleball. It's great, and you don't have to be in that entry level. You can build up you can help run tournaments. You can help become a head pro, and yeah, you can do it. So yeah, I think that's honestly a better route for most people rather than trying to become a pro pickleball player. I guarantee you, well, it's kind of crazy because with the contracts that some of the players manage to get, they are making really good money. There is quite a bit of money for the top players in pickleball, but if you're like a 200th in the world in pickleball, you're not making this kind of money. You're trying to get to the top 100, top 80 to really get to the money. And if you can do that, great. But if you never make it, you're losing money really. And then I know some people have a lot of money where they can just go try to make it, but this is definitely an easier, safer path if you're trying to make a career in pickleball. So, anyways, I wanted to share those numbers with you, talk and just present these options to you. Hopefully, I inspire some of you where you become better at teaching and you become instructors and head pros, and things go your way. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, definitely subscribe and like the video. Pickle on, dudes.